My name is Raji Barham. I'm the CEO and co-founder of AmigoCloud. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start telling you a story. About 5 years ago, the iPad had just come out, and I had just bought one of these devices. And I was playing with my little cousin. I handed it over to him, and literally after 30 seconds, with some minor explanations, he was able to just use the device. Now, contrast that experience with the current state of government software, right? On the right side, on your left side actually, you have just the traditional GIS mapping application that is very, very expensive to use and requires hundreds of hours of training to be able to use correctly. On your right side, you have a device that is the de facto device that gets bought by pretty much every government agency when they're gonna go out on the field and do some sort of like mobile GIS mapping. That device is running Windows Mobile, and it's costs around $6,000 to $8,000 a piece. Now, here's the thought. Like, we should be demanding the same level of power and ease of use and pricing that we get from the devices that we have in our pocket, right? From government software. And so that's sort of the idea around AmigoCloud. Like, our passion is geographic information systems and mapping software. Now, what we realized was that pretty much across all government agencies, we could find instances of complicated map interface. They're actually used everywhere. And like the software cost, we're spending billions and billions of dollars on this software. And what's even worse is that at the end of the day, the software is so complicated that it's not uncommon for us to just fall back into just standard pen and paper. And in the best case scenarios, we end up with a situation where we just create all these complicated workflows that basically are unnecessary and are costing a whole bunch of man hours. In the worst case scenarios, we end up with paper maps that are not updated, and somebody walks around and there's a hole in the ground, and then all of a sudden, you didn't have the latest version of the sewer lines, and there's a whole bunch of hundreds of thousands of dollars of damages and sometimes even lives, right? So what we're doing at AmigoCloud is making it really easy for organizations to just use standard iOS and Android devices, really cheap devices, to collect and visualize mapping data. So we actually adjust in how you do things instead of the other way around. Now, instead of me telling you exactly all the different applications and features that we have, I can give you some examples of customers that we've been working with in the past 30 days. Literally in the past 30 days, the state of Montana bought 100 user licenses of AmigoCloud. Now they're using it to go out on the field and do mobile GIS data collection. They're doing things from keeping track of mines all the way down to doing environmental impact analysis on the Keystone XL pipeline. We have VTA that started opening up their data sets on transit data for buses. And instead of using the traditional approach where you're polling, now they're using modern HTML5 WebSocket APIs to get push notifications instead of constantly polling. Literally last week, we started working with SFSU to basically help them power their custom routing application that enables them to be able to do directions between, on campus, but at the same time, take consideration of things like ramps and, voice notifications. So like if you're blind, then you can actually hear the directions, right? With names specific to things in that university. Golden Gate National Parks started using AmigoCloud to keep track of like invasive species throughout places where they don't have internet access, so that they can keep the parks beautiful. And literally, there's this company in India that contacted us, and they started pre-bundling AmigoCloud, the software that powers this device. This is a device that is replacing that $6,000 device that you saw at the beginning, much more powerful, much more accurate, $250. The software that powers that is AmigoCloud. Now, for the first time, they can go out into like remote places in India and actually do parcel data collection. So what you see here is like our team in San Francisco. We're actually, like Dharmeshta said, we're a distributed team throughout the Americas. And we basically have been thinking about this geospatial and mapping problems for literally decades, right? Like when we were at Amazon or Microsoft or Esri or Panasonic, Delphi. I mean, these are the problems that we kept thinking about. And what we have is that we share something in common, which is our love and passion for location data and maps. Like this is an AmigoCloud map. It's not a Google map. It's an AmigoCloud map, right? And so if you are interested into finding out how is it that you can leverage the power of the cloud and the device in your pocket with your location data, please come talk to us. I'm sitting right here. The team is in the back. We love to talk about this stuff. And yeah, so thank you.